Three of the most entertaining and compelling minds come together once a week to talk about absolutely nothing. Pop culture, stocks, parties, you name it. And also, your guess is as good as ours. This is Wingin It. With Aaron and Austin Platts, here's Dylan Corbett.
All right, welcome in, Winging It. We appreciate your patience. Patience was the word I was going for there. The Platts brothers, Austin and Aaron. I'm Dylan Corbett, live Minneapolis, St. Louis, LA. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. We wanted to get this out before Christmas. Hope everyone enjoys a safe and solid holidays. And let's talk about our weekends. Just fucking kidding. I want to talk about this. How much the carpool lane fucks in LA. Because the carpool lane is money, right? But I think it differs in cities. So talk about out west, Aaron.
Oh, the carpool. Sorry.
You didn't think I was going there.
Hard. Did I write this down?
I think so.
Dude,
so we've got 2 weeks of
lane,
topics for you guys.
The carpool lane fucks so hard in LA. All the highways are like 8 lanes wide, and you'd think, oh, that's all you need. But no, it's always backed up 24/7. So anytime you like go somewhere like San Diego and you take someone with you, I always forget, like, oh my God, we can go in the carpool lane. You kill at least a 5-hour trip turns into like an hour and a half. It's like you feel like you're doing something illegal when you're driving in the carpool lane.
Wait a
you
second.
Just need 2 people.
You said
You only
8
need 2
lanes.
people.
You have 8 lanes on the highway. That is insane. So again, people listening in St.
and it's back
Louis,
to back, and no one's in the carpool lane.
So everyone's driving by themselves.
Basically, yeah.
Why don't they just carpool?
That's why they made the lane.
Has traffic been nuts in LA, or since COVID has it been has it been died down?
No, traffic's like not that bad since COVID. It's only bad when you're like trying to go out of the city on a Friday. It doesn't matter if you're going north, east, south on a Friday. Like anytime, it's really bad.
How are the highways? So I'm getting used to the highways in Minneapolis here too, and we've got a carpool lane. But you know how it's like we have something so whack here, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's when you're getting onto the highway, it's the stoplights. It's like the blinking stoplights to where only one car can go. So like the entire like entry ramp is like back the fuck up, and then there's just a little carpool lane for the entry ramp. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't get it either because nobody adheres to any of those rules here.
True.
Like there's like red lights to get onto the highway, people just blowing past them. Like no one gives a fuck.
I'm having trouble. I keep getting lost to it because I'm coming from, North Dakota, where it was just, I don't even think we had a stoplight in the town I lived in for 10 months. And now I'm in the big city, right? Minneapolis, I guess. I'm getting lost like all hell. But I mean, the carpool lane does fuck. I do agree with that. You might move out of St. Louis. We got to get to this because this shocked me. And apparently this is breaking news from the man, the myth, Austin Platts, who had a revelation last night. I mean, this is the time for revelations, right? The holidays.
Yeah, I literally haven't talked to anyone about this.
The exclusive.
But I think everybody in their 20s wants to move out of their hometown and go to big city. And I figured now if I ever was to do it, it would probably be the time, since all of us are working from home anyways. And my company has 2 offices, and the other office is in Dallas, Texas.
Ooh.
So I'm highly, highly considering just moving there when our lease ends February 28th.
Wow.
And I have one person that is pretty much in. I can't disclose his name yet. But like there's a high probability.
Does it rhyme with Rue?
No, it's not Drew.
No, he would never leave STL. He's a Birds fan till he dies. Well, I don't know. Maybe he would. But I like where you're headed with this. Dallas a great pick too.
Yeah, and I just went there for the first time like a month ago. And it's a cool city, but I just figure I have the best opportunity there with my second office there. I feel like my boss would totally let me do it.
Yeah,
So
and
if
if you
anybody
don't
from
like
my
it,
what?
just move. If you don't like it, just move somewhere else.
Right. So there's always a million reasons not to do something, and finally I was like, fuck, I got it. I got to just leave. I want a fresh start, and I might do it.
Wait a
And
second.
if anybody from my work is listening, don't tell my boss yet because I need to talk with them still.
Or your roommates, right? So the lease is ending. That's crazy. So yeah, again, you're kind of thinking, what's next? Because you either got to find a new place in the same city. Do you want to move back with your parents? Dallas, a great spot. I might be. We'll have to talk off air. That's one of the spots I want to own some real estate. So we'll talk. But yeah, so I want to discuss the moment where you were what? Were you like staring at the ceiling? Like, were you having a life reflection moment? Were you just doing some bicep curls at the YMCA and you're just like, God, I get it out of here? What was the moment like?
Well, I've kind of been talking about this with my future roommate, you can say, for a little bit. And I was like literally laying in bed at like 10 p.m. last night, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna leave unless I go now. You know what I mean? Like, this is the perfect opportunity. Our house is getting wrecking balled. Like, I can't go back home. I'm not gonna
Austin.
fucking go back home.
How old are you? 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the month after my 25th birthday is when I moved to New York. I had the same revelation. But my company wouldn't let me, so I just quit.
Yeah,
I
you
just
just
moved.
I was gonna say,
that's-
Aaron, you probably had something very similar. Was it because you went coast to coast? So at first it was like, get me to the city, and then what happened to where you were like, all right, I want to see what the West Coast is about.
I mean, there's not that much that goes into it. I think it's just at a certain point, like so many people leave St. Louis with like jobs and stuff, and you can only go to Wheelhouse like so many nights, and you can only go to like Soulard. So like we lived in Soulard, we had a sick house, but after a while, it's like you see the same exact people every single night, and you just kind of like have this come to Jesus moment. You're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, nothing against St. Louis, but you're like, I gotta like go do something else, like even if it's for a little bit.
So I always love coming back to St. Louis because all my boys are there, and I basically left once I turned 18 because I went to college at Bradley University and I spent all 4 summers there working. So I never really came back. So it was always a treat to me to come back. But again, you guys hit the nail right on the head. It's like, there's some weekends where you're like, this is the best thing ever. And there's got to be some weekends where you're like, shit, this is so boring. I wish for something new. But yeah, that's pretty big revelation. Maybe next week, the mystery roommate will be revealed.
Possibly. I mean, he's not 100% in. I need to still talk logistics with him.
That's a tease.
But yeah, like
right there.
what Aaron said is you see the same people and eventually you sit back and you're like, how much longer am I going to do this for? I got to meet new people in bigger cities, I guess. And
moving was like the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Speaking of moving, I already hate this goddamn rental house. Not what happened there. Not this office. This office is legit. Again, I'm the king of the teas, right? I still got to tweet out that picture of the office, video of the office. But so we get here, and it's just kind of funny stuff. So my house in Rapid City was like $250,000. It was way nicer than this, which is $360,000. This was for the area. So like, it's just like, okay, it'll do. The floors creak. It's an old house in kind of Edina, Minnesota is a very ritzy area. It's right 5 minutes from the Galleria. So very upscale kind of town. And it's just like, so we have a fenced in yard. I'm thinking, oh my God, three dogs. We're great. We have neighbors on both sides, just chain link fence. Every single fucking time I am like outside fucking Rambo checking to make sure there's dogs on both sides. I'm making sure, okay, the coast is clear because one of my dogs loves to bark. So I finally am like, okay, the coast is clear. Let the dogs out. No matter fucking what, every single time I choose to let the dogs out, the other dog is outside. Does anyone have this issue? It's crazy. Maybe it's just a dog owner thing, but I'm very spoiled. I'm already getting sick of this rental house. I'm on the market every single day, dying to find a house.
Dude, it's been like 6 days.
It's been 6 days.
What
I
are the
mean,
what are the neighbors like? Have you met your neighbors?
oh, dude, the nicest people in the fucking world. Minnesota, I kid you not, like, you will not meet a nicer bunch of, like, people, like Minnesotans. North Dakota's the same way, but they're a little bit kind of weird. They're about 10 years behind the times. Nebraska and South Dakota are a little bit more like Missouri and Kansas, but in Minnesota is just like nice capital USA. So it's like the nicest people. It's like, oh, it's fine. You know, the dogs are barking. That's fine. And meanwhile, I'm mother bleeping them in my goddamn house. So motherfuckers, stay in your house. Stay in your house one time. Yeah, I'm like the asshole from the Northeast, kind of like invading Minnesota.
Yeah, are you gonna be like a Minnesota sports fan, like diehard Twins fan now?
Well, so
I
Matt
see you got
Cruzan
the
is.
posters behind you.
Yeah, exactly. So, funny story about this. I didn't just like go buy it. When I was at the studio in Rapid City, we covered all these teams. We covered the Minnesota markets. So when I was decorating the studios, I bought all the stuff. And then, you know, when I'm packing up my office, I was like, shit, this is good stuff. So I brought them. Cardinals forever will forever be my team. I don't have an NBA team. So, shit, the Timberwolves just got the number one pick. I might like get season tickets for a shit franchise. You know, I'm just going to take advantage of kind of the big city. But yeah, it's just like, I think I wrote real estate down here too, unless there was somebody else and I already forgot the topic, but I'm just kind of surveying the market, and it's kind of crazy to see how the winter market, there's nothing there. So there's no value, but then once spring comes, like you're just going to see like houses you're not going to believe priced at some rates. It's going to be nuts. Is the market going to crash?
You definitely didn't escape the snow though. Has it snowed there yet?
It hasn't snowed, but I kid you not, we haven't seen the sun since it's been 6 days. Yeah. No sun, bitter cold. Nice summer.
So
City on earth.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
For as much as people shit on California, like I noticed this when I lived in New York or California, people were like, well, it's too dirty, like the rent's too high. Like, number one thing people would say when they visit is like, that was great, but like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I could never do it. Like, shut the fuck up. It's so nice here every single day. I don't care if my rent's $1,500. It's literally 75 and sunny every single day, like 350 days a year.
That's the case of where you pay for the area. Exactly. Like
you just pay for your mental health.
Yeah, true.
It never rains. It never snows. I mean, I miss the snow, but like you're never inconvenienced by anything except your lack of drive to work.
And traffic.
True. Except the carpool lane.
Traffic, fair. Yeah.
On the note of snow, so you miss it. I'm, you know, geez, I've been in snow, I think, my entire life. I hate it. You know, but I feel like I would miss it. But I've got dogs. You know, is LA a great place for dogs, or like Vegas? Because like they don't have legit grass, do they?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge dog town. I'm not sure about Vegas because they just have like fake grass. But yeah, if you move away, like you'll miss snow. I was the same way. I was like, fuck this shit. And then it's been a few years and I'm like, damn, I would kill to see some snow.
But then you could just, geez, my voice is terrible today. But then you could just go to like Vail or something, like Utah, Colorado.
Yeah. Well, Big Bear is like a 2-hour drive from here.
True. Yeah. Northern.
And Mammoth.
Dude, my thing, if we're on the snow topic.
Correct.
Not that snow, but the snow topic.
Next week.
I feel like you love snow your entire life until you get to college because of snow days, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get to college and graduate, you're kind of like, fuck the snow. Unless it's like the first snow of the year or maybe the second. And then after that, you're just like, all right, fuck this.
Because we have to shovel now.
But do you really miss it? Like, it's so ass.
That's what I'm saying.
So many accidents on 64.
And then it warms up and it's like mushy gray, like disgustingness everywhere.
That's why I hate snow. Slush. The slush. That's why just like walking on the sidewalk, it's like, oh my God. You know, you ruin your shoes.
Yeah. That dirty STD gray water.
Correct. Literally. And that's on the bottom of your car as you're driving. You're like trying to kick it off with the tip of your toe. Who got ghosted?
I'll tell you what I definitely don't miss is having to go to work and it being like completely frozen and you sitting in your car like, okay, fuck, shit, oh my God, I'm freezing, okay? You're like blasting the heat, and then like all of your windows are thawed, and you're like, okay, just like 7 minutes of this and I'll be able to drive.
Aaron, 10 months of my life, I was 40 miles from the border of Canada. It was minus 30 every morning, and I didn't have a garage. I don't know how I did it. I kind of blacked out that portion of my life.
Wait, I went in Brennan's car the other day, and he had just a bag of water. I'm like, this is suspicious, Brendan. He's like, oh, no, dude. In the morning, if you heat up water, put it in a bag, and then put it on your windshield, it gets rid of the ice frost right away. Have you ever done that?
That's a life hack. No, because I've definitely
I don't
sat
know
in my
if I've
car
been-
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I usually just sit there and fucking.
No, Brendan's drinking that water 100p.
I thought that was for like a drug test he was trying to pass. No, just a Ziploc bag of water.
Just drinking water. He's like, yeah, I lost my water bottle.
Nah, man, it's for emergencies. Yeah, but who got ghosted hardcore? I mean, let's.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
All right, you ready for this story?
I can't wait.
So at this party, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I met this girl, and we talked for like 30 minutes. I got her number, and I sent her a text right away, like, Austin Platts. I don't hear from her the next day. Then the next morning, she texts me, OMG, hi, smiley face.
Mm.
So we talked for like 3 days straight. She's gorgeous, by the way. Just got to put that out there.
Okay.
And finally, I was like, hey, like, do you want to get lunch today? And she responds, yeah, where should we go? So then
No.
I recommended a place, and she didn't respond.
Oh, I
And
thought
then
you were going to say
it
you
comes-
went there.
No, but it comes to be like 1:30, and I'm like starving. And I'm like, hey, like, if you're too busy, we can always do it another day. No response. Okay, she didn't just ghost me. She said, yes, let's go, and then ghosted me. Isn't that kind of like a punch you in the face?
Yes. I mean, I just am imagining you like sitting on the couch. It's like an NFL Sunday. You're like staring at like a hoagie, and you're trying to not take a bite because you're so in depth trying to get to lunch with this chick. And then she just probably like some dude with a cigarette pulls up and goes, "Hey, sweetie, we're going to Chick-fil-A. Hop in." And that was the end of that. She was looking for food.
Wait. It's
Yeah.
not over. It's not over. So, so that was like on Thursday or something.
Okay.
I see her at the bar on Saturday night, and I see her in line waiting to go into JP Fields, and I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. And then she just starts babbling, like, oh my God, about the text, blah, blah.
Yeah, the
And
lies.
I'm like, yeah, just walk away. And then Brad comes up. He's like, wait a minute. Are you, And she's like, yeah. And he's like, just starts going off on her. He's like, you're a terrible person. Who the fuck do you think you are? And like, it was pretty harsh, but I guess she kind of deserved it. And like, I saw her the whole entire night, but like, didn't talk to her. And then she texts me the next morning. Guess what she says?
You want to get lunch?
No, but that would be hilarious.
Jesus.
She texts me, hi.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, you I think
That's
Brett.
it?
That's it. I never responded. I haven't seen her since.
What are you supposed to do with hi?
She's playing head
Dude.
games.
I should literally just respond, explain yourself. Because you left me out in the dust.
Just leave it in the past, dude. You
Not
have
the
zero
one.
time for these hoes.
Especially
Yeah,
when you guys have the entrepreneurial ideas like Toilet World. I mean, this chick does not know what she's missing. But I'm encouraged to hear about this harebrained scheme.
Oh, you want to hear about Toilet World?
If I'm ready, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it goes back to the bidets. In Austin, this was like years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, that we had this idea. I'm almost positive, right?
I don't know.
Actually, maybe not. All right, I'll break down toilet world for you. Me and Austin had an idea to create like super solid toilets.
Okay.
Like basically bidets. Okay, I swear this is where it comes from. Is we were like, why does nobody have bidets in the US? Like, what if we opened a store that sold like super high-end toilets, right? But then we had the idea to make this store like the world's largest
Like
like
an emporium.
bathroom.
Right.
It's just a bathroom.
Like you could pay like $7. It was gonna be like in the middle of the desert between Vegas and LA. And like whenever people like need to take a shit, they're like, oh my god, we should stop at Toilet World. Like I heard they have the best bathroom.
So like just crazy stalls. Like you gotta
No,
have multiple.
This is what I imagine. Everybody knows about it. It's like, we gotta visit Toilet World. You pull up and it's this huge building. You walk inside and it's just marble floors and all these toilets are so extravagant. You get to choose what kind of toilet you use. No, you know
that's
why
fair.
we thought of this, Aaron? It's
Why?
we just ate In-N-Out and we had to shit so bad. I wish there was just
You need something like that. Hey, let's
No,
hop
that's
into
where it comes from because like especially you're right. Especially during COVID, there's like you can't use public restrooms anymore. It's weird. You know when you take a road trip and you're like, I gotta take a deuce, but like where do I go? We're like, what if like we create this place called Toilet World and not just our main revenues from people taking dumps, but like we could also sell high-end toilets.
on the side.
Yeah, if they like the toilet, they can buy it after.
I mean, it's used
Because whenever you have to go to the bathroom, you never know. Like if I go to this store, maybe there's just gonna be one toilet and I'll have to wait. It's like,
Totally.
Can I wait right now? Can I wait?
You got to have like Toilet World, just 200 high-end luxury stalls.
Yeah, they turn into like McDonald's. They're on every corner.
I mean, I'd be about it. You got to put that right in between like Vegas and LA. No, maybe something longer. I don't know. Yeah, a nice rest stop. But you better sell urinals because I need one in my house. Speaking of ideas I've had for a couple of years, I mean, like, why hasn't anyone thought of this? Why can't I have the urinal is the most enjoyable thing ever? Not the trough at Wrigley Field. I don't want a trough. Just a nice urinal to put beside my toilet for when I just have to piss. So I'm not, pissing all over the goddamn seat, getting out the toilet paper, wiping down the entire seat. Just get the urinal, a couple of nice smelling urinal cakes. Why don't more houses have this? Am I crazy?
I think people are scared to accept the conveniency. Like if I was to build my own house, I would 1000% put one in. I have no idea why you wouldn't.
I would be the first person to do that. The commonness. Give me a urinal.
Well, here's my thing. The urinal is to save space, and if you already have a toilet, it's like you don't need both.
What's more enjoyable, peeing in a urinal or peeing into a toilet? Come on.
No, I agree. A urinal. And you know what's funny? Jonathan Morel used to live in my neighborhood, and he actually had one in his basement. And I was 10 years old, and I walk in, and I'm like, is this normal? He's like,
You beat me
Morel.
to it.
My dad's just rich. That's basically what he said.
Okay, so you need to be rich. All right, that's the plan. I'm going to have a urinal. Yeah, so I was going to say, I'd never heard of anyone having that, but I was going to say, if you walked into my bathroom and I had a urinal and a bidet, are you thinking this guy is maybe a serial killer or, man, this guy's got the setup? Because I think it's the latter.
And the squatty potty.
And the squatty potty. That's the other thing I hate about this thing.
I would think that you just enjoy the little things in life.
Well, I can't because I'm an asshole.
I like that.
My master bathroom is not attached to my fucking bedroom, and it is the size of my desk. So I can't even get my squatty potty out because we have a beautiful walk-in shower, which is nice. But like, I can't even turn around with banging my hip, trying to put on my clothes and falling over. Get me out of here. That's all I have. Sorry.
Your bathroom Is
Dylan,
it
you literally had all the time in the world to find the perfect place in Minneapolis, and not only did you procrastinate, like you didn't even pack till the day before. This is everything that's happening to you is
brought on by myself.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, I'm terrible. Moving day. Holy crap, it was terrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, and it's coming up soon. But moving cities is a lot different than kind of in the same town, I guess. So let's get to top 10 fruits. I haven't had breakfast yet. I need some fruit in my life.
So, me and Gray were watching football and we're eating grapes. And I was like, holy fuck, like grapes are fire. When was the last time I just sat down and ate some grapes?
Red or green?
So then we started talking fruits, and I was like, we were just talking about like what fruits are like the best. And I brought up cantaloupe, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yes.
What did you say? And I was like, cantaloupe. He's like, dude, cantaloupe isn't even in my top 10. And I'm like, really? I was like, can you even name 10 fruits off the top of your heads? And then he named like 30. I was really impressed. But then we started doing some research, and we started looking up top 10 fruits. Guess what is number one on every list by far?
I would think apple's got to be up there.
Dude,
an apple a day, right?
No, not most bought, like most preferred.
Like, what do people like the most?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's either strawberry or watermelon.
Good guess. Do you have another guess?
I have no guess.
Okay. By a long shot, it's the mango, also known as the king of fruits. We were like shocked when we started reading these articles, but people are obsessed with mangoes.
So
I could see that.
I'm notoriously picky. Obviously.
Why am I surprised?
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm just on the therapy couch getting out all my flaws. Have you guys ever had a kiwi? It's like it's solid. Yeah. It's very I don't know, tangy. Like what? It's not bitter, but it's like a very strong taste. I love cantaloupe, apples, oranges, clementines are fantastic. Grapes. What are some other?
Have you guys ever had a mango?
A mango?
Yeah,
I think I have
mangoes all the time.
What?
Yeah, they're fire, dude.
They're
also, our cousin Brandon is like obsessed with mangoes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one unless it was like a mango.
And
smoothie.
I mean, it makes sense. Like if you asked a bunch of millennials what their favorite fruit is, because mango pods was the most fired jewel pod. So like, there's got to be a little bit of conversion there. It's funny. It's funny you bring up the fruit thing though, because me and my friends, I'm not kidding you, talk about this like every 2 weeks in our group chat. It always gets brought up. People will just start sending in emoji fruits, and then all of a sudden, like, people start getting hot. I think blackberries are number one.
Watermelon's gas.
So, so we had this huge debate, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do an Instagram poll. So I said, is cantaloupe a top 10 fruit? Guess what the results were?
I would say no.
It was 51 no, 49 yes.
No way. I voted yes on that poll.
Really?
Well, it's because we ate a lot of cantaloupe as a kid. Maybe that's like just not normal.
It's at every hotel breakfast, isn't it?
Wait, so melon is the green one and cantaloupe's orange, right? Okay, I was having trouble with that. Yeah. That's right.
I think it's honeydew is the green one. I could be wrong though. But
there's nothing better than fruit at like an exotic buffet. You know, like I'm talking like Dominican, like probably Hawaii.
So then I was like, all right, would you rather eat fruit for the rest of your life or vegetables? And I think we all agreed vegetables, because you can like cook vegetables, you know?
Yeah, and fruit is way too sugary. Like after a while,
right.
You can't, I mean, that's not sustainable.
And think about it this way. You can, there's ways definitely where you can have vegetables with your breakfast, not so much fruit with your dinner, but damn, right, I would miss fruit.
Wait, real quick. Do you guys ever do Instagram polls?
No.
Yeah, I mean here and there. I ran an entire best hitting SIGs bracket through Instagram
Oh
polls.
God, how'd I miss that?
It was during quarantine. I had so much engagement. It was actually a great time. Then I did one about beers too.
Oh man.
What were the final ones?
The best hitting SIGs, the final one was SIGs Inside. It was SIGs Inside versus Casino SIGs, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And then best hitting beers, I'm pretty sure a draft ballpark beer won, or it was airport beer. But I get snaps all the time from people drinking airport beers, and they're like thinking about you. Like,
Really?
I'm like, all right, thanks.
I would just vote. I was giving my vote on that. I would go airport beer because you're technically going somewhere, right? At a ballpark too, you could, if it's hot as hell, the beer's getting warm.
Well, when you're like in line at a ballpark, and like it's like you talked about on the pod a while ago, and you go up there and you're like, let me get like 2 24-ounces, and they're not even in the cans, it's the draft, and you're walking back to your seat, and like you basically already crushed an entire one by the time you get to your seat.
Or I spilled half of one.
Draft beers, they hit, man.
They do. See, I thought you were gonna go draft beer at like a bar overseas. Like, there's nothing. I guess this is a callback too, but a draft beer at like a pub in London, there's nothing that hits better than that.
Yeah, Guinness.
All right, Austin, I'm done cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Basically, what I was gonna say is the Instagram poll thing. Like, I feel like when it's 50-50. It's like, fuck yeah, I finally asked a question.
A good question.
Creating controversy. Like, if it's 75-25, it's like, what a stupid question to ask. But when it's neck and neck, you're like, okay, what do I got next,
I'm with you on
stirring
that.
the pot a little bit.
A polarizing question. So again, of course, I have not upgraded, and we have 5 minutes before our Zoom chat ends. But so here are a couple topics that we had from the week that we were off that I kind of just want to hit here because they're a little past due. Maybe we'll talk. So monoliths were huge, but I haven't heard much recently. That was crazy. I want to get into a larger discussion about aliens, but let's talk about music here quickly. Of course, AirPods Max coming out, just absurd. Whatever you have comments on the design was odd. I mean, I'm wearing Bose headphones that kind of look similar. Are we going for more aesthetic there? And the fact that they're $550 dollars. Don't think I pronounced that correctly in Spanish. But yeah, what's going on with those? How are they going to get away with charging that much? And how many AirPods are we going to have?
So, I think the reason they made it so expensive is because if they didn't, people would maybe stop buying Bose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Beats. Yeah. So I think they wanted to make it like really expensive, and it's like a luxury product, so people view it differently.
I agree because Apple owns Beats by Dre.
Right.
Do those look cool? I was having an internal struggle of again, things turn cool once young people start wearing them and you see everyone with the new Maxes at the airport or something, and all of a sudden you convince yourself to get them. But my first glance, I was just like, why are we looking like an Eskimo? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Like, I don't even think they look that cool. I watched one review, and apparently they're made out of all steel, so they're kind of heavier too. But I don't know. I would have to wear them to see why they're so much.
Yeah, without paying for them. Yeah,
it's why they called AirPods Pro or
Max. Yeah, Max. Where was the creative team there? All right, this is our third installment. Let's use Max. Let's use Max this time, guys.
This is a big deal over the head headphones for them, and they just put a Max on the end. It's need to come up with
the price.
Nothing makes any sense anymore. I'm pretty sure they just released these headphones to see what the American public is willing to pay for Apple products, because Apple has so much money in liquid cash. It doesn't even matter. They could lose $1 billion on this and they'd still be the richest company in the world. Like, I literally think like half the stuff they release now is just psychology to see what people are willing to pay for shit.
Dude, they literally like gained $1 trillion in
Yeah,
2020.
they have $2 trillion in cash reserves, like more than the U.S. government. So it does not matter. Do you get what I'm saying? I bet like at Apple HQ, they're like, so what could we pay for this? And some intern was like, I mean, realistically, like what people would be willing to pay is like $325. And a few people were like, that sounds good. That sounds good. And it goes dead silent. And somebody across the table goes, $550. Fuck it. Let's see how many people we can get.
Some CEO with a fucking handlebar mustache just goes, nah, fuck them. $550.
Yeah, their assistant's like, but sir, we ran all the market research. Like, we spent $10 million figuring out what people would be willing to pay. He's like, oh, I'm aware. We don't care. Because they'll probably still sell out.
It's
Dude, there's rumors that the iPhone 13 won't have any inputs. It'll just have it'll have nothing, and the charger will just be the magnet.
How the fuck are we on the iPhone 13? I think I have the 9. I thought I was caught up. What is this? How are we? Apple is a complete scam. So might be the stock market. Austin might be getting out. I just got back in. I love it. All right, we're going to wrap up Winging It. Lots to get to. Aliens. Well, not too much. I might become a homemaker. And I just hit the chiropractor yesterday. I'll get your thoughts on chiropractors because I've got, I might create this a detailed story, but that's next. Okay, I don't even know what I was trying to get to when I saw the 1 minute countdown and I just kind of fumbled around before I ended that first part. But here's what we got on tap for you here in part 2 here, Winging It. Again, we appreciate you guys sticking with us through the absent week, and we're getting you back here on your regular schedule before Christmas. Hope everyone has a safe and solid holiday. Okay, chiropractors. So I went to a chiropractor the other day. Dude, I this happens to me all the time. I complain about back pain, and everyone's like, how the fuck old are you? I've had back pain since I think my senior year of college, and it's an SI joint. So it's my left SI joint. It's not like overbearing. Some days it is, but it's just a constant pain right there. And then all of a sudden, I think it was during quarantine, I discovered crack talk or whatever. It's chiropractor TikTok.
So addicting.
So satisfying. This guy,
Dude,
Dr. Cody.
Yeah, I watch chiropractic TikTok before bed literally every single night for like 30 minutes.
I'll rewatch videos I've seen like days before just because it's so satisfying.
You talking about Dr. Cody, the Australian guy?
That dude's the man. Dr. Crack.
He is the man. Yeah.
So that guy got me into I was like, because he does, that one where he flips the leg over and he kind of just sandwiches. That's the one I need. The SI joint. So I go to the chiropractor and it was awesome. You have to go a couple times when you're first getting it because it's about moving. It's about getting your joints to move a certain way. My body's all fucked up. I have size 13 feet, but I'm only 6 foot tall. My hands are way too big for my body. So I'm just an off balanced body. And, oh my God, I felt fucking incredible. As soon as the cracks, it was oh my God. She did the one where it was put my knee up to my chest and then twisted it. Got a couple of those cracks. And then the one where where she sandwiches you on the back. Oh my God, it's so satisfying. But then the pain came back, after a couple hours. My first session ever. So I go back tomorrow, and it's about just trying to get your body used to it. But I've also heard that chiropractor is a scam, so what do you guys think about that? Because I would be fine paying, to go a couple times a month, maybe once a month, but that's, I'm addicted to stuff.
Yeah, I have scoliosis, and for the whole time I lived in St. Louis, I went 3 times a week.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is the reason they say it's a scam is because you don't need to go that much, but people get addicted to it.
You keep going back.
Next thing you know, you think you need to go all the time. But dude, it's hard not to be. I think about it all the time. I don't have health insurance, but if I did, I would go at least once a week.
I've never been. How much is one session?
Dude, I went yesterday and it was $100. And that was without insurance too. Is that
See,
much?
that's the
Is that a
thing,
lot?
like, I feel like once you go once, like you got to keep going back and back. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a scam, but I don't know. I've never been.
Yeah.
But my thing is like some of those cracks, like the dude will just take the head and just yank it back. Like, doesn't it just take one bad crack to kill someone?
The neck one scares me, and Dr. Crack fucks around with it. He's just like, that muscle right there, just relax it. And he like 360s this chick's head like a fucking owl, and they're just like, oh, and he's like, oh, good one. Like, is she alive? So I didn't do the neck one because I don't have. So I would say like chiropractic is probably great for like if you have a problem. But like if you're just trying to go for the sensation of cracking your back, which is pretty addicting just on its own. Remember, we do like everyone's trying to crack each other's back in high school or something, how satisfying that is. That's where it could probably be like, okay, what are you actually paying for?
Dude, I've never even gotten a professional massage. It's not fucked up.
I can't do it. I'm too ticklish.
Drew just went for the first time ever, and he said it was like the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah, you got to get on that ASAP.
Yeah, maybe I'll treat myself to one, like a little self-Christmas present,
Yeah, holiday spa day. There you go. Have you ever gotten a pedicure? Anyone? I'm trying to think because I think I did one time. Is that metrosexual? But it was absolutely incredible. Like my toes were like absolutely disgusting, but they just needed I just got a good fucking, foot wash. It was incredible.
I would get one. I just never have.
I think we got pedicures before homecoming. Like it might have been me and Joey or something. I feel vulnerable after I just released that information. Somebody fill time for me. Thanks.
No, I would get a pedicure. I wouldn't get a manicure, but I was listening to Dave Portnoy and he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, I went once and I absolutely hated it. He's like, I started to freak out halfway through. I had to walk out. They're like, you're only halfway done. He's like, I don't care. Get me out of here.
That's nuts.
Jesus.
Okay. Are aliens real? Because, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, and we don't have to touch on the whole monolith thing, but it was kind of nuts where all of a sudden it was crazy where these metal statues were showing up. And at first it's like, okay, what campaign is this? Is this going to be a Super Bowl commercial? But the fact that it was in Utah, then Romania, then like California, and then to like some remote island off the coast of Wales in like consecutive days and then disappearing, I was literally mesmerized where I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, how could that be a stunt? So I don't know.
So I think it all started with just a group of people that were like, let's fuck with people. And I'm pretty sure they looked at Google Earth or something. And it was there for like a few years before anybody found it. So when that popped off, they were probably having a fucking field day at their home, don't you think? They're like, it's happening.
They were going fucking crazy.
Well, so it's like based off of a movie, so that's why people are, but it's also a sculptor who like had a similar taste in art and someone thought it was a homage to him. But here's my question. Why would President Trump, is doing some ridiculous things in his time in office, but he creates Space Force? What is going on there? Why would we need something like that, which is literally an army for space?
Listen, the monolith thing was
there.
definitely just humans, but I mean, I don't even like it goes without saying, if you are even like halfway educated, like everyone should know that aliens are real. Like, I don't even think it's a question anymore. It's not a conspiracy. Like, anybody I've talked to that's like pretty well educated is like, yeah, just statistically, like, it's not possible for them to not be real. Like, if you've taken astronomy, you would literally have to be like the biggest dumbass I've ever met to like look me in the eyes and be like, statistically, we're the only life form. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. There's more galaxies in the world than there are grains of sand on Earth. And you're trying to tell me like we're just in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm not even talking solar systems. I'm talking entire galaxies, and we don't even know everything that's in our galaxy. And like, they're real. It's just a matter of time.
that fucking fascinates me. Like, I don't know why maybe it's because that will fucking, create a public scare, but I just like, that's probably such confidential information, but to be a fly on the wall, I want to just fucking spend a week learning everything about that. That would be crazy. But honestly, that's what the future I think holds. We're about to, we got people building technology to just cruise into space on Virgin Galactic Airlines.
Have you guys seen the TikToks of like UFOs and like stuff like splitting apart in the air? Have you
Yeah.
guys seen- All right, I think that shit's fake, but I do agree that there are aliens. All right, listen to this theory though. I think that there's a chance we might be the smartest life form in the universe.
I think the opposite.
Not the
We're
United
the
States,
least
but
smart.
Yeah, well, not the least, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson has a theory that we're like less than 0.1% different DNA than monkeys. And you know how like we look at monkeys? They're like, yeah, I mean, easily like aliens could pass over Earth and look at us like we look at monkeys and be like, we'll be back in a million years.
I heard a theory that aliens were just saying that we weren't ready to meet them. Whichever that means. But hey, I'm ready. Come on. I'm ready.
Where'd you hear that theory?
Probably the internet.
No, that was a main news headline.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Into all those traps.
I mean, people have been saying that like forever, though. You ever seen Star Trek the movie?
Which one?
The one where
Is that what the model
is
is based off of? Space Odyssey or whatever?
There's like this one movie, this new Star Trek's, where the opening scene is they're like, we cannot launch this spacecraft out of the water because they're like monitoring like a country that's like very primal. They're like, if they see us, they're gonna think we're God, and something goes wrong, and they have to just shoot out of the water out of nowhere, and the spacecraft's flying away. And in that moment, all the people are like pointing up to the sky, and they start drawing the spacecraft in the sand and all like bowing down to it because like that's their new God.
I'm telling you, dude. This everyone's probably fast forwarding, but if you're not, I mean, this stuff interests.
Dude, I guarantee everyone that listens to it, like aliens are real. I don't even know why like we debate it anymore. It's one of those things that the government wants you to think is a conspiracy theory because they're just trying to like pull away from the fact that like they really are. It should just be general understanding.
Real quick, for those of you that don't know, I'm pretty obsessed with space. Like I'll go on these space binges where I'll fall asleep to space videos for like weeks at a time. But there's this new telescope called the James Webb Telescope. And I think it was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed till late 2021. It's like this new telescope that like fucks on any other telescope we have. And we're supposed to see shit that like we've never even come close to seeing. Like the edge of the observable universe, I think, is 14 billion light years in radius, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this telescope is going to be able to look all the way to the end of the observable universe and see what there was at the beginning.
Come on. How much? Are you getting it?
You guys should look
They sell this thing at Best Buy?
Yeah, no kidding. I was wondering what the market for telescopes are.
No, it's like it's like trillions of dollars or something.
I know.
That's
they reselling this baby on StockX.
They've got it on the outlet.
Yo, I got those alien life forms on the low, dog.
Yo, check out this alien I just found on Planet.
Dude, like Venus, it's just crazy how we're discovering that there could be water. And to that thing about TikTok, you were saying, I think I follow this guy where it's like weird things going on in the world right now that you don't know is happening. Like I'm just mesmerized by that guy. But yeah, it's just insane.
Can we also talk about TikTok real quick? I don't want to get too into it, but everybody on that fucking app thinks they're a genius. And everyone's trying to teach you something or give you advice. It's like, you're like 5 years younger than me, and you probably just started looking this up 20 minutes ago, and it's got like millions of views.
I don't
just
understand
skipped the
who
shit.
blows up.
Dude, who?
There are some practical things I learned from there, though.
I just discovered
Yeah, like-
pasta TikTok. That guy who whips up the pasta, that dude is so fucking funny. There's so
He's
many
like,
different
"Welcome."
avenues.
Welcome
I gotta-
to Pasta.
I gotta show you this guy who guesses people's heights. Have you ever
I've
seen
seen
his?
it.
Oh my god! When people are like, "Where's the guy that guesses people's heights?" and he has like the two measuring tapes. He's like, "Dun-dun-dun." It's like the Saw music. He's like, first I divided the diameter by this pasta cup, and dude, it's
Like, I decided to go
crazy.
with this picture from when they were 12 years old. It's like,
Yeah, dude, it's honestly insane. This guy's a genius.
Speaking of social media, but this is more digital media. Spotify absolutely shits on Apple Music. I've been on this train for a while. I don't think this was a hot take, but whoever had it, you're on the clock.
So I actually just recently came into the music game about a year ago.
Okay.
I know you're probably like, what the fuck? But I would like never listen to music, mainly because like I didn't have a platform. What was I gonna
Right.
do? Go and search songs? Like it's so hard to find songs. So I was gonna get Apple Music, and Aaron looked at me and he's like, "If you get Apple Music, we are never talking again." And I was like, "All right." So I got Spotify, and best decision of my life, and it absolutely, I feel like, shits on Apple Music. I mean, people are totally going to disagree with me.
No, it
But
does.
what-
The only reason people use Apple Music is because they're like, it's a sunk cost. Like they're too far gone. Like they already have all their music saved and stuff. Anybody that has both agrees Spotify's better.
That would
So-
be a good Instagram poll. Do you
That
use
is a great
Spotify or
Instagram
Apple?
poll. But I've got a caveat because I love, so I never did Apple Music, but I do Apple Podcasts, which I love. And so I'm not really podcasts on
Yeah.
Spotify, but I love music on Spotify because you can create your lists, you can find whatever. You got to have Spotify Premium. I mean, that's a must. But yeah, so that's
Well-
my one difference.
Well, I actually do listen to podcasts on Spotify.
I know
It's
it's
They
crazy
haven't
how many
stopped.
people do. It's pretty nice. I just kind of started doing that myself, but I just always, I guess it's just to each his own.
But I think I put this when it came out with like your yearly recap. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is sweet. Like you get to know all these facts about your stuff. And
So many
I
apps
started-
are doing that now, like TikTok, your
Right.
2020 Wrapped. Oh, I looked
Dude,
at my Robinhood
Robin
2020
Hood.
Wrapped. Yeah.
Robin Hood did a 2020 Wrapped yesterday. It was like, you've had 310 transactions. I'm like, get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
I was
here.
gonna say that was the one I did not want to see. I'm like clenching my teeth. I'm like, oh
you
my
lost
god.
$12,000 this year.
Congrats.
When's it end, dude?
That
When's
was the one
when's
that
it
had
end?
me
Did you
weak.
you see Snapchat
Yeah,
just
you're-
like release their own version of like TikTok or whatever?
and then Twitter doing fleets, which is like basically Instagram stories. It's all copycatting each other. It's kind of crazy.
You know what would be cool is like a life wrap where it's like you met this many new people this year.
That'd be so
random
sick.
shit that, like,
that'd be creepy.
no
It's
one
like,
actually
who's
knows.
watching me?
Yeah.
But that would be sick.
so dope.
Yeah.
You fell in
Yeah.
love with this many girls this year.
You blacked out this many times. Oh God. That's what New Year's resolutions are for. Okay, let's see here. Winging it again. We're almost wrapping up here. Let's just get to this quickly. So again, we've kind of hit on this stock market. We'll just blow by it, but the market has been crazy, and Austin's starting to get the spooks. I think investors are starting to get the spooks, but I am to the fucking moon the last week. So I got back in. I am up 14% the last 5 days. This stock Fubo TV is going to put my great grandkids through college. It is up 112% the last 3 days. I don't even know what it is. But like to that point, it's like, you know, Fubo TV. I guess it's a streaming service I've never heard of, but there's just so many things out there. Everyone's grabbing at money. It does really feel like, okay, wait a second. What do any of these companies actually do? You know?
All right, so here's my thing. I follow this dude that I basically all the stuff I do is based on this guy. He's a genius, and his main outlook is like 1 year to 10 years. Like he's long term in these stocks and tries to find undervalued stocks. And he's basically like, I've like looked at every single stock almost, and he's like 99% of them are overvalued. He started looking at these stats and like, I don't know if you know what Ford Ps are, but like for growth stocks, it's over like 60. They had to cap it at 60 because it couldn't go any higher. He's like, you're paying over 60 times what these stocks are worth, basically what that means, or will be worth. So, and then he was like, the NASDAQ is up 42% this year in a pandemic when the economy shut down. Look me in the eyes and tell me that something's not up.
I mean, what's going on?
And every single chart you look at is just going up and up and up. And I'm like, holy fuck, we're about to get hit. So I'm an avid believer in just keep your money in, but I think I might just have to pull out all my money. Besides Zopti, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did for the election, and then it went up like fucking and there's so many IPOs this year because everyone's just running to the money. Hey,
Yeah,
let's
I
get
don't
cash.
think it's crashing anytime soon, to be honest.
I mean, here's the thing.
Things can't get much worse than they've been this year, and it's been blowing up. So, like,
And we just had that new stimulus bill. I mean, that's
yeah, like the market's popping off today because of that stimulus bill. Like, everything's so irrational, but just
that's the thing. It's so irrational,
in.
and a lot of people are in the market that didn't used to be, and all these little things like
we're all pumping it up.
Vax is back, so stocks are going up. Eventually, in the next few months, people are going to be like, these stocks are like absurdly high. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And the guy that I follow was basically like, look, there's always people that are like, it's about to crash. It's about to crash. He's like, no one's talking about it right now. And I'm like, if that isn't fishy, then I don't know what is. So I don't know. I'm starting to get scared. I don't want to get in too much of stocks, but
yeah, I'm just wondering if it is going to be like an end of the year thing. So I'm kind of, I might be following your lead there, but
I think people might start to get spooked during the presidency change. But you're right. We said that last time. And
I know we're just spooking each other, throughout the course of the day. Here's something that's not spooky. Well, it was spooky when I found out. So Kelsey is a nurse, obviously a great need for that. And nurses do pretty well. I guess I didn't really notice that, but I always knew my wife did pretty well. And I was a broadcaster, even when I was a paid broadcaster getting money, that's not a very lucrative job. It can be when you get to the top of the mountain. But when you're grinding, when you're getting up through the ranks, small market, high school, etc., I was making good money by the end. But again, you got to work your way up there. Kelsey is now a travel nurse. She makes $4.7 grand a week. How? And at first, I told Brendan Duarte that, and he goes, "Wait a second, what the fuck? That means she's making like almost 150K a year." So that's the thing is, it's only 19 weeks. It's like contracts. So it's basically if a hospital could fuck you, like actually what happened during the pandemic was at one point there wasn't people coming into the hospital, so they just cut all the costs, the travel nurses, because people were afraid to go to the hospital because they thought they were going to get sick there. But now it's booming again because obviously we're in a terrible time right now during the winter. But like travel nurses, like how is this? I'm turning into a homemaker. I'm always laughing at my dad, who obviously hasn't worked since I was born because my mom was obviously making all the dough on Wall Street. But I was always laughing at my dad, and now I'm at that point where I've been unemployed for 3 months during one of the toughest times of our lifetime. But now people are like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm just like, I trade on Robinhood, you want some equity in my company? I'm turning into that guy. But
father like son.
Like father like son. But that's what's great is I have no shame, but I just kind of have that realization to where I was like, wow, I'm kind of living off the dollar here, but I'll invest it for her. How about that?
So the weeks that she doesn't get paid any some of the weeks?
Well, so no, you just keep getting re-upped contracts. So like it could be, that's the thing where it's like, I guess you get paid more because right now she was promised to go to a hospital that was real close to where we're living right now. Last second switch, it's 40 minutes away. So that's inconvenient. But they go, hey, from $57 an hour, we'll give you $70 an hour. It's like what? It's like, what? How is that even fucking possible? But she starts work soon, and I'm starting work as a homemaker.
4,700 a week is a shit ton. Is that what you said? 4,700 a week.
4,700 a week. It's like fuck
That's
you
a-
money. I mean, and my buddy
it's
Matt's
funny.
becoming a lawyer. We're all starting to make bank out here. You know, I'm just along for
I
the ride
think
on the
it's funny.
coattails.
I think it's funny you're married to her and you're like, yeah, I guess she was making good money. But when she told me, it's like, she's never told you before.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have separate bank accounts still. I mean, you know, I can't be trusted sometimes, but no, that's the thing too. Is just that was just a part of it. Because we've been together for 6 years, you know, so it was just like we never were rushing to put a bank account together. We've got obviously an understanding of like I pay all the bills, you know, she'll get groceries, but yeah, I was shocked to hear, wow, you're making how much?
Good
That's
for
lit.
her. Yeah, they make a lot of money. I mean, most of the chicks I went to Mizzou like are nurses, so
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah, they're hard workers. I mean, 12-hour shifts for like 4 days in a row. They deserve all that money. All right, we're getting
Yeah,
close
and
to
they
get
work.
you out of here. Let's tell a story because this was also another listener submission. Again, self-involved, but I think it's probably a good story to get us out of here. The time Austin shit his pants at a frat party. Again, another listener submission. We thank you for that. What are the deets here?
So I was like a junior, senior in high school, and I went to Mizzou for the first time to go to a Pike party. And yeah, during the pregame, you know, shit happens literally, and it was like the only time it's ever happened to me. But has it ever happened to you guys?
Yeah,
Bro.
that actually happened to me at the very first college frat party I ever went to when I was in high school at Mizzou too.
Shut the
Well,
fuck
not like
up.
totally, but I was like throwing up and had to
Uh.
shit, and I was in the bathroom just like destroyed. You know, it was like
But
shots around the
it
world.
was good. Jesus Christ. I've had like that happens to me probably like, you know, once every couple months. I remember I was like in 6th grade about to walk down to the bus stop. I'm all pumped. It's the first day of school. Take 10 steps out the door and it's just like, oh my God, I just shit myself. All right, just take a quick turn and go back inside, change the drawers. It's brutal, dude. It's just not being able to trust a fart sometimes.
Yeah, and you know what, like, my worst fear is, like, that happening again, and you're, like,
And you
in a
can't do anything
public
about it.
scene. Yeah. So just in case, I have a little to-go bag in my trunk with just an outfit, because you never know.
That's a heady play.
I got a blanket back there in case I have to sleep in my car.
We've used that blanket before.
He literally slept in my car before.
Oh my God.
Uh,
That should do it. Winging It. We appreciate you guys here. This is episode 8. Austin, Aaron Platts. I'm Dylan Corbett. Again, shoot us a listener submission. We're on Instagram. We're going to be posting clips there. I got to get better on that. Again, we'll off-air conversation, but we're in the works for a website. I'm negotiating with the man, the myth, Austin Platts. So we got some big plans for 2021 social media-wise, and it's been crazy. We've kind of had a good following on Instagram there, so many of you checking us out there. So expect some clips. Enjoy your Christmas, your holidays, and we will talk to you next week.